Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we are taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles General Traag and Granitor 2-pack from NECA Toys. So these have been out for a while, but I am finally going to go ahead and get this box set opened up and take a look at them. This is a set that I've been looking forward to for a long time because Traag and Granitor first showed up at a San Diego Comic-Con display like, 2 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago? I can't even remember how long it's been now. But they first showed up with the deco based on Turtles in Time. And, you know, for a long time we were wondering if we were ever going to get these figures, and they finally showed up, but even better than the arcade looks, which is fine, I like the arcade looks, but we actually got them in their cartoon colors, which I think a lot of people were probably stoked for. I know I am, so I'm excited to check these guys out. Anyway, real quick look at the packaging. Just like we've seen for all the other 2-packs, we've got some nice photography, we've got a cross-sell down here, got that great kind of turtle van motif. These dudes are huge. They don't come with as many accessories as some of the others, but again, these are big, chunky figures. So let's get them ripped out of that box and get a closer look at them. Alright, so we got Traag and Granitor outside of the packaging. Let me start with the tape measure. So Traag is about 6.5 inches and Granitor goes all the way up to 7 inches tall. These are just very, very cool looking figures. So they do that thing with the paint deco where they are mimicking the animation. So you got lots of black line work in there. And the way the shading is done is very cell shaded like. I think that's the best way to describe it. Where you can see kind of like the lighter grays worked in on there with the darker grays on Granitor. You know, you got the lighter tan worked in there with the more brown colors on Traag. And even with the helmets, I mean, you see the way they've kind of got like this little shine. So like just a lighter color painted on the helmet encircled with that thick black line there. So they definitely are going for like a cell shaded animated look like many of the figures in this line are, but I feel like it stands out a lot more with these guys having these very rocky bodies. So a lot of the parts are shared between these figures, I noticed. If you look at the lower legs and the boots, those appear to be the same. The upper bodies are similar, though Granitor does have the different badge over here. Traag's got the little lightning bolt badge, so you've also got this bigger collar around the neck for Granitor. So it does seem like the torso piece itself is different. Obviously, the shoulders are very different between the figures as well, because Granitor's got the big rocky shoulders, but if you look at the lower arms, those are also shared pieces. And that's fine, you know, it seems to work out okay. It's not super noticeable, and they do still stand out and look like the characters from the animation that they are inspired by. I will say they're both a little top heavy. You can see I'm trying to balance them both to keep them standing. So you really do have to find the right spot. Sometimes I have to kind of hunch them over to keep them standing. But you know, it doesn't seem like it's too bad. We're going to get into that here in just a second when we're really going over the articulation. But you know, the details look really nice. I do love the faces on these guys, Traag specifically. But you know, Granitor's got that awesome pointed nose and everything there. So all in all, I think the sculpted details are great. The paint deco does seem nice and clean on these guys. So let's go ahead and break down that articulation. So, very, very unique bodies here with those rocky bodies. But the head is jointed at the top of the neck as well as at the base of the neck. So you actually do get a good range of motion. You can kind of roll the head all the way around there. You can see the shoulders can kind of come upwards, slightly hindered by the rocky structures there. You can also move forwards and backwards. It's kind of scuffing this pointed part of his chest just a little bit. You got double joints at the elbows where it also swivels. You can see I got some paint chipping off in the joints, which does tend to happen with these figures. But that swivels there. It got the double joint to bend. And then you got swivels at the wrist, and you do have hinge joints at the wrist, which are super tight. There we go. You can kind of bend that there. Boy, I'm really cracking paint all over the place. You know, the upper body there is ball jointed, so it can look left and right, slightly hindered there, but it rolls all the way around. The legs are ball jointed, and this is where I will say that I feel like it's a little looser than I'd like, especially since they've got smaller legs and these big, heavy upper bodies. But you can move the legs forwards and backwards. They move outwards about that far. You got bends at the knees that don't bend too far. You got swivels at the knees, and then the ankles can move forwards and backwards as well as rock side to side. So a lot of that is going to be the same on Traag. You can see what I was talking about with the loose thighs there. Just try to gotta hunch him over just a little bit. So you can see the neck on Granitor. He's got like this long peg that goes down inside there, so that kind of makes his head roll all the way around. It also does swivel up at the top of the neck there as well. Same thing going on. He's got like these ball joints at the shoulders, but he's got these big, long, rocky extensions on the top. But still good range of movement there. Otherwise, everything does appear to be exactly the same as it is with Traag. Loose, a little loose. They're not overly loose. Okay, they're not dangly. The legs aren't dangly. I want to point that out. I do just feel like these guys are a bit top heavy. So standing them might give you a little bit of trouble sometimes. There we go. I've got them up there. So they do look good. Articulation is nice. I understand, they're very rocky, very chunky guys, but I'm totally fine with what we've got there. But the accessories are very cool on these guys. So first of all, they do both have the same blaster, which you can holster on their hip, which I do really like. So let's go ahead and pull this blaster out for Traag here. Maybe it's stuck in the holster. There we go. Okay, so we've got, there we go, Traag's going down. Boy, this is a mess of a video. All right, so we've got this light blue and dark blue blaster for both of them. I like it quite a bit. You can get him to hold that in the kind of tighter gripping hand. You can see he's got one hand that's a bit of a tighter grip. The other one's a little bit more loose. So both of them have the same thing going on with their hands. So you can get them both to hold on to those pistols, which are very nice. Again, have that very animated look to them. One more accessory that these guys come with is the little communicator with Krang's picture on there. We've seen these communicators with some of the other bad guys in the line, but always nice to have one of those. Again, it's got to be used in that smaller gripping hand, so you can't really get him to hold the blaster and this at the same time. And he doesn't really have a place to holster this, but still, it's a fun little extra inclusion. But the final accessory is my absolute favorites. Let me get these guys out of the way so you can see this. You've got these very cool wanted posters for the neutrinos. Look at that. And they are like done on these kind of translucent, almost like little slides, right? So we've got Zack the neutrino, we've got Dask the neutrino, and we've got Kala the neutrino. Let me flip her around. There we go. There's Kala. These are awesome. Just fun little extras that come with the figures. Hopefully this means we'll be getting some neutrinos somewhere down the road, because I've always been a fan of these guys. But yeah, I just thought those were some really fun little bonus accessories to come with these figures. All right, guys, it's comparison time. Now, we never got Granitor in the vintage line, but we did get a General Traag. So here's the original one from Playmates Toys standing alongside this new version. Obviously, this is one of those cases where the original toy was very different looking from the animation. So you can really see that there. There were some crazy details on the Playmates one. So it's neat looking at the animated version standing side by side with that version from Playmates Toys. And there you go, my friends. That is a look at Traag and Granitor. Now, I said at the beginning that I've been really excited for these guys because, we did get Traag in the vintage line, but as I showed, he was very different looking in the cartoon. But we've never had a Granitor. This is our first time ever getting Granitor in action figure form, and I love getting some of these iconic characters from the original cartoon series brought to life as toys. All in all, I like these guys. I've got some balance issues there because they're so big and bulky and heavy, but I don't think it's overly bad. Like I said, the legs aren't super wobbly, so I think it's manageable. Hopefully they just don't get over wobbly over time. Sometimes when you have these figures where they have the heavier upper bodies, when they're standing on your shelf over time, they tend to dip forward, and then they finally fall. So I guess time will tell with these, but right now I do like these. So these are Target exclusive, like most all of the animated 2-packs. These first started showing up in the fall, but the good news is they're showing up again right now. Lots of people are finding these again right now at Target stores. So I'm glad I finally had a chance to take a look at this set. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and until next time.